Jason's making me sea coffee.
Hold the salt.
Hold the salt.
I have bad news, and I have good news. Well, the good news is you're getting iced coffee. The bad news is we don't have ice cream, so it can't be an affogato. I know, right? And we're out of the good coffee. So you have to be fine with the nitrogen-infused store stuff.
I'll be fine.
Be fine. Coffee's
I'll be caffeinated.
just enough. It is a lazy day aboard Curiosity. What are we, cruising at like 4 knots?
Yep. We're cruising at a whopping 4 knots. And the seas are as, well, lazy as I am.
Okay.
Alright. I'll come back to that. That is our sea state. Calm as a cucumber. Okay, I got coffee. I've got questions. Let's do this. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. This is just in. Or
Off the
not.
press.
So, yes, we've officially been
Sailing.
living on this boat. Not sailing.
Oh, yeah.
But living on a boat for a year, sailing for about 6 months-ish, a little over.
Yeah, 8, 9, maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah.
June to now. June to April.
There you go.
Whatever that is. There you go. Okay, or July to April, whatever.
The point of this video is we're doing a Q&A.
Yes, thank you.
We asked our patrons to ask us anything they want to know from the first year of sailing, and we've tried to sort their questions and organize them in a way that we didn't get the same question over and over. So if you asked a specific question that we don't cover,
It's because it was
somebody else asked a similar question.
great.
Sorry,
So, yeah.
Bob, Jane, fake names.
Anyway. So, let's dive in. Question number 1.
Yes.
Oh, should we tell? It's a beautiful day out here. I feel like I should notate that because it is absolutely incredible. We're on the, not the Bahama Banker, is it the Bahama Bank?
Yeah, I don't know. We're sailing to,
We're
Yeah.
to Bimini from Andros.
so we're on the shallows. It's like 15 feet deep. There's almost no wave. And every now and then if you hear a
Almost
big,
no wind.
yeah, if you hear a big, it's because the spinnaker's flying behind us and it might make some crashing noises.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, but everything's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah.
Nothing is in front of us. It's all sand.
All sand.
We're all good.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, beautiful day of sailing.
Beautiful day. We are very, extremely, extraordinarily lucky to be out here
Yes.
enjoying it with all of you.
And having coffee. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So question number 1, you read. I'll drink.
Okay, great. Oh, thanks. Could you share your monthly cost, not including equipment?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have documented down to every little dollar tip to the gas attendant to cupcakes,
We didn't get any cupcakes while we were here.
ice cream.
We did get ice
We
cream.
guys, okay.
A couple of times.
Stay tuned. As soon as we're officially in video heading towards Florida,
Then we will share those expenses.
at that time on our website.
Yes, because we've always shared our RVing expenses, but with the boat it's a little bit different, especially ongoing costs, because each place we visit, each country, is going to have different costs associated with that. Some will be far less, some will be far more expensive. So anyway, we're going to do it by country, I
By
think.
country
unless
or
you have
region.
another
We're
idea.
figuring if we have to exchange money, we might as well document the entire process every time we exchange money.
Pretty much, yes. So, and then anything related to money you'll find on our website under the Our Expenses tab. So I'll make sure to link to that. So just in case you forget, you can always find it there.
Cool. I know you didn't do this to explore pink beaches. I think he's talking about your obsession with the not so pink beaches.
Yes.
What would be your criteria for the next adventure beyond the Bahamas?
Excellent question, because yes, we did not do this to just have endless horizon, sunsets, and beaches, although that
They
is...
are spectacular.
Yes.
We need more. We seek out diversity and adventure and
But it's
people and
experiences. Traveling for us is 100% about experiences, new experiences. So that is why we do this. Not because we're looking to lounge out all day in a hammock, but because we are kind of always seeking experiences.
which is why we're stoked to be leaving the Bahamas and going straight to the jungle. Never been to the rainforest.
Never been to Costa Rica or Panama, so we're super excited to get there. And I am envisioning mountains and coffee fields and
cacao. I can't wait to cut open a cacao bean and eat the nectar,
the fruit
or whatever
from inside there. Yeah, the little jelly fruit. Anyway,
Woo!
that.
Coming to a video near you very soon, hopefully.
Little tiny dart frogs. All things associated with those landscapes and the people, the culture, and everything else. So yes.
Fresh fruit again, finally. Okay, what has been your experience with Patron? This is a good question. How has it impacted your plans and opportunities? Is it contributing as much income as you wished? You want to take that first one? How's your experience been with Patron?
Okay, so experience with Patron, we were really nervous going into that because we thought, such a weird, odd, horribly uncomfortable thing to ask people for money.
Yeah.
But
we've actually been talking about Patron for basically since it started, 2-3 years ago.
However long ago it was, and we never jumped on it because we just felt like we couldn't ask people to help pay for our videos, like regardless whether we thought there was value there, whether people, and we had people mention it for a long time before we finally did it anyway. So yes, the experience has been really good. We've been overwhelmed with how many people jumped on board so quickly, especially with such a big transition, because we started it after we started the boat shopping. We didn't want to upset our RV people by starting this thing and then jumping to a totally different ballgame. So anyway, the experience has been really good and positive.
And how has it impacted your plans and opportunities? I would say the biggest way it's impacted our plans is we spend more time focusing on creating adventures, content, helpful tips, whatever the heck we want to create, which is kind of the point of Patron. You're supporting
the creation. And we're not focused on our other, finding other work or trying to pitch a sponsor or something else. We're focused on just creating content for you.
Is it contributing as much income as you wish? This is kind of a gray area with Patron that kind of stinks. We've talked to him about it a few times. If you look at our website, or if you look at Patron right now, you'll see that we're making, I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a number.
$2,100 or something like that.
A video. Well, we might put out 6 videos in a month, but we only charge our patrons for maybe 4 of those videos.
Right, because maybe we don't charge for videos
this
like
Q&A,
this.
Yeah.
So it can be a little bit deceiving looking at it as to how much money you're actually making. Plus, you don't get paid that per video. That's just the maximum amount you can get paid for the first video.
Yeah.
So then your second video is less, third is even less, fourth is even less, all within that month, because everybody pledges at different levels. Same thing for us when we, like for the other creators that we support, we go in and we set our monthly maximum, right? Because you're contributing what you can reasonably afford to contribute.
Whether it's $5 a month, $1 a month, $20 a month.
Whatever the case may be, right? So you're only doing that one time, not every single time they post. So the number does vary. So it doesn't mean that
it's not a bad thing
no,
but it's kind of deceiving in some aspect.
Yeah.
That's what's the downside of it, but the upside of it is
it's public, and we like that
yes.
part. Like you get to see kind of where we are and whether
push us to the next goal and our next challenge, and that's kind of the whole part of Patron is you're supporting us, creating more content, and helping us hit goals.
Yeah. So it's awesome. Is it contributing? It's actually, honestly, we didn't expect anybody to jump on board. So the fact that there is money coming in for each video that takes us hours and hours and hours to edit is pretty fantastic. So it could be $5 and we'd still be pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah, which is why we opened up one of our cabins for our patrons, because that exact reason, to give back. You guys are giving to us, we love it. We've got a cabin.
And we want to share the experience.
Exactly, more than just digitally. Okay, this one's kind of a solar flare or crazy rogue nation takes out all the satellites. Are you gonna be able to manage the planet, and continue to sail the high seas on charts?
First of all, if that happens, I'm pretty sure that sailing is like the least of our worries. But I understand what you're talking about there, and I think the idea is yes, we do know how to navigate
by charts.
Using charts.
Yes, we learned in our sailing school. If you haven't seen our Sailing Schooled series, then I urge you to click over and watch that. It's quite fun. I'm worried about getting skin damage from the sun. Is sunblock your only prevention, and how much do you go through?
We go through a lot of sunscreen. Yes. We probably apply 3 to 4 times a day. It really just depends on what's going on. Obviously, we try to wear long sleeve shirts, hats.
Stay in the shade as much as possible.
Yeah, but it's a lot of sun exposure. There's just kind of
There's no two ways about it. No. were you handy before you became full-time sailors? So if you ever watched any of our how not to videos, then I guess you could say we weren't very handy, but sort of handy.
Our early RV audience can attest to the fact that no, we were not handy before this. I don't know that we qualify as handy now. We're just eager, maybe, to learn and
generally capable.
Yeah. Ish.
Next question.
You can learn. You do not have to be a boat mechanic or know a whole lot to be able to dive in. You learn as you go, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, and when you get into an anchorage or a mooring field, then there's other cruisers there, and they're extremely helpful. So.
Yeah.
Okay, a few years ago you posted about how you deal with mail, health insurance, etc. I'm just curious, has that process changed since you've moved from the RV to the boat? And first example is here in the Bahamas, we couldn't mail anything here because it was going to cost us 40% surcharge. Plus like outrageous shipping fees, and the small islands don't even have FedEx, so you got to work through like this other broker to get the FedEx to the place, to the other place.
Yeah, it's very doable. If you really needed something, you can certainly get it. You're just going to pay a lot for it. So that is a hindrance. So yeah, no, it is not the same. It was much easier before, but we were also in our own country, shipping to our own country. Different story. So now that we're traveling abroad, there will be new challenges. Some places will be easy, some will be more challenging, but yeah, so as we figure those things out, and healthcare, same thing, we're still navigating all of that. We haven't found the perfect solution. So yeah, I don't have any like words of wisdom for you there other than we're working on it. We'll figure it out.
Hopefully. Hopefully. How do you handle money? Do you have a money manager here in the US or just manage things yourself via the internet? We have IRAs and we fund those regularly or yearly. And they're managed in a money market sort of thing. You're taking over? Okay, and so that's great. Schwab, we have a Schwab account, a Chase account, they're all online, and the ATM fees in Schwab, there's 0 ATM fees no matter what ATM, so that's kind of a bonus for taking out money on the road.
No, we are not sponsored or paid by them.
No. And I did, right when we got to the Bahamas, I was using my credit card, and then I realized they had the 3% transaction fee that goes on to international purchases. It adds up quick, so I stopped doing that. Everything else was cash. Bada boom.
Is there one thing you miss about RVing? What one thing do you like best about sailing compared to RVing? We get a lot of questions about that, like RV versus sailboat, and which one do you like better? But it's not apples to apples at all. There's a lot of similarities, but they are so drastically different. They don't feel like the same thing at all.
They're almost the same as far as living, but completely different.
Even at that at the same time,
it's impossible to explain.
RVing, it's funny, like some people think it's awesome and super cool, other people think RV, like isn't that what your grandparents do? Whatever. I don't know, but RVing is awesome. Like it is quite literally, you have all the comforts of home anywhere. So RVing, there's a lot of conveniences. You're not really lacking on much of
that would be the ticket. You can literally get anything you want, anytime you want. It might be a couple 100-mile drive, but you can go from the middle of nowhere to the middle of a populated city
within a few hours. So yeah, a lot of diversity. You don't like where you are, pick up and move. It's pretty simple. Like it's great. It's a fantastic way to travel. We really, really like it. We very much enjoyed it. I would assume we will do it again one day. But as far as
the sailboat, for the sailboat, what we like more, I would say the sport of sailing. You know, people say all the time, well, sailing is a sport, and
it is.
It is, for sure, 100%, because you're running around, moving sails, dropping sails.
Today is not a good example of that.
Well, we snuffed the spinnaker 3 times and put it up 3 times, so, you know, you're running back.
But we're also moving about, having our coffee and talking to you, and that's...
It's definitely more engaging. The sailing is more engaging and more of an activity than just sitting behind a wheel driving.
And I think the one thing that the sailboat has that we would have really loved in the RV...
Autopilot.
Well, that too! Yeah. Water maker.
Water maker. Oh,
the ability to make water is just a beautiful thing.
Yeah. That was always our limiting factor in the RV.
Totally. Okay, speaking of water, how is the water system working that converts salt water to fresh, and how is the quality of that water, and do you drink it?
Yes. Good, yes, good. Right?
Yeah, we get that question a lot as well, so it was an excellent question. It's an RO
system,
reverse osmosis.
Yeah. The water comes out clean, just as clean as our distiller, it seems. As far as the taste goes, it's very similar to the distiller
and
that we use in the
parts
RV.
Per million, because we have a little water tester, but you know it's bottled water.
Yeah, better than bottled water quality.
Yeah, tastes good. super clean. It's
Yeah.
awesome. And it's really fantastic to be in an area where maybe some of these islands don't have really great city water or whatever, or they charge a lot for the water because they have an RO system.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ability to have really safe, clean drinking water no matter where we are in the world, that's pretty spectacular.
It's really spectacular. And if you're worried about minerals and stuff like that, you can get things to re-mineralize your water. So, I don't know. We did it in the RV for a while with the distiller, but we stopped. I don't know why.
We're lazy.
Just something else to buy.
Yeah. The water is fine.
Yeah.
So hindsight, there was a lot of questions about, of course,
Oh.
buying a boat, what to do beforehand. So anyway, what do you know now that you wished you'd known when you started? Any surprises? So we just went back to a post that we created, which was thoughts, expectations, uncertainties, and went back to that
Just
post
last
and video.
week, yeah, answered all the questions that we had.
Yes, and kind of, yeah, exactly. So, what do you think about cat versus mono sailing? I really do not want to dive into that debate because everybody is super opinionated one way or the other, it seems. We bought a catamaran, so I think
that's our money where our mouth. That we just put our money where our mouth is, I guess. However you say that, that's
what
it.
we did. Yeah. No, the thing is we had never been on a catamaran other than like a typical sunset booze cruise type of thing with friends. But other than that, we had never really been on a catamaran. All of our sailing
like 3 sailing experiences were in monohulls.
Yeah, with friends who had monos. So it's not that a monohull was bad. We just knew from talking to them and other people we knew that had sailed around the world and everything else that a catamaran was most likely going to suit our needs best. And
for a live, work, play, the whole situation for our style of life.
Yeah, that we were looking for, and it has 100% fit the bill. Yeah. Okay, do you think you bought the right size boat, newer model year? Right
Okay,
size?
we argue about this a little bit. 40, our size of boat is just great. It's perfect for us. We couldn't afford a bigger one. We couldn't afford a newer one.
We could
barely afford. Yeah. So, but Kent says, "Oh yeah, you should have got a 46." You know, jokingly, but also, you know, if your boat's a little bit bigger, you can go a little bit faster. It's a little bit better for the bigger seas. Blah blah blah. But in general, our boat is perfect.
Right. I definitely. So Jason, he'd be like, "Yeah, if we can afford the 46, I'd get it."
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going, "No. If we could get the newer Leopard 40, I would have gone for that. There just were none for sale. It's still too new. Anyway, but I like a smaller boat. But we originally looked at like a 35-foot boat, and we were really leaning towards that before we knew anything.
Yeah.
And then the more we learned, more we realized that would not be the best boat for going around the world.
Yeah, a lot of people asked about the Mahi that was featured in the video last week.
It's still a great
It's still
boat.
a great boat for certain things, but not sailing. Not for us.
Not for us. Not for what
living
we were
full-time,
looking
working
for.
full-time, and sailing around the world.
Plenty of people do it, so it's not that it can't be done. What would you recommend to someone who is looking to purchase a catamaran to live on? What are the top 5 things you would suggest someone planning to live this lifestyle do before buying a boat and getting started? I feel like those are
all
yeah.
pretty similar. I would say upgrades. You know, we're gonna have a whole series on upgrades, batteries, and RO and stuff like that. Like those things are important if you're gonna live full time on a boat.
Right. If you're coastal cruising or just occasionally, it's not as big. Don't know that I'd invest in all the upgrades. I wouldn't do it. But anyway, if you're just getting started, sailing school first. Because if we would have had sailing school, we would have already learned a ton, would have saved some of the learning curve that we went through. It all worked out just fine.
Yeah, and the more boats you can sail on, the better your experience is going to be. Like go to the moorings and rent a catamaran and go sun sail and rent a monohull
or go to a school like which
Yeah.
we went to where you actually learn on the type of boat, so you can learn on a catamaran,
yeah.
whatever. So the more experience you have, the more you can dial in what you want, what you like, what you don't like. And then the next would be buyer's broker, because the what to look for, what's good in a boat, bad in a boat, all of it. That's
we can't tell you.
Well, we don't know.
We don't even know.
Like, we don't have enough experience on different types of vessels or anything else, so our opinion is not one, it should be taken with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
And it's very personalized, and that's the thing. So you want a good buyer's broker that's going to help you navigate that process, figure out how you're going to sail and what type of boat suits you, and then they'll know what to look for, and they will help you pick a good boat out of a bad one, I suppose.
Yeah, and in just catamarans, we literally walked in, met Kent,
Got the warm and fuzzies.
Had an hour conversation, and he said, okay, well, I think this boat and this boat would be good to look at to start.
Yeah, and that was, it was one thing he did that I really liked, and that's one thing that their brokers do really well, which is just, first thing they want to do is just get you on a bunch of boats. If you're unsure, they're like, no, you're going to have to just go see them. It's not something you can do on paper, and that was totally the right thing for us.
Yeah, we came in wanting a 32-foot Gemini.
And we ended up purchasing a 43-foot flipper. That's a really good salesperson.
Yeah, if you haven't watched our boat buying stuff, there's a lot of good insights in there, and read the posts that go along with it. It's a lot of good insights.
Do you get lonely? It seems like you spend a lot of time without any human contact other than each other.
I'll let you answer this by yourself. I'm going to make sure the camera's still recording.
Okay. No, actually, there are, just like in the RV community, there is a community. In the sailing world, there is certainly a community. It's very rare that we're at an anchorage all by ourselves. Sometimes there's only one other boat, but a lot of times there's a lot more. Even if it's not that specific spot, just down the way, there'll be other boats. And all you have to do is quite literally call somebody on the VHF, or you dinghy over and you say what's up, and before you know it, you're
having sundowners and talking about,
or going snorkeling, or maybe you're going to meet up on the beach. Like, community is a big deal, and everybody is kind of doing the same thing. So no, you make friends. If anything, we don't have enough time to hang out with all the people we meet because we're busy working and other things. But no, lonely, I don't think it's
a problem. No. At least not in the Bahamas.
Certainly not in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would be like BVI's. I think there's a lot of places that have a good cruiser community that not pretty easy to tap into. You can make lots of friends.
Definitely.
Okay.
We're at 22 minutes, so we need to start.
Okay, moving along. All right, don't abort people. Okay, does anyone grow veggies on their boat?
We have not seen a single boat that grows veggies.
No, lots of people that grow herbs, and we've tried that ourselves, but we have to compete with the cats, because usually if it's an herb we like, they like it too.
Yeah, they want to eat it just as much as us.
And then they get all the black dirt all over the white boat.
All the white boat, not good.
How much has maintenance been, and how do you even budget for that?
Oh, see, we're in year one, and that was changing our boat from a coastal cruiser to a
ocean-going blue water, whatever.
Voyage vessel, or whatever you want to call it. So we have no clue, but from the blogs we've read, 10 to 20% is what you should plan on, and most people say plan on 20 and hopefully you'll spend 10% of the boat's value.
Yeah, and that's been kind of the general consensus from everybody that we've talked to. There are a couple of really good blog posts by long-term cruisers that I'll make sure and link to, because they have great posts on that kind of stuff. Your clothes. Second to last question. Your clothes always look unwrinkled. Why aren't half your clothes with holes and oil stains?
Well, this shirt here, that stain right there, you might not be able to see it. That's from fish guts.
Yep, and there's another one on there, but then...
Yeah, and then these are my Sunday shorts.
Yeah.
So...
we do have stains and holes in our clothes. You probably just don't notice them all of the time. And as far as wrinkles go, I haven't owned an iron in at least 10 to 12, maybe 15 years. I go for the old, it's in a spritzer bottle. You put just a tiny bit of fabric softener and the rest water. You give your clothes a spritz, and then you just smooth it out. And ta-da! It's practically like an iron. Okay, I think I remembered that you have an AC in the cabin. How is it powered? From the motor, separate generator, or dare I say battery?
Dare you say. Yes, definitely lithium batteries. We have a special little tool that's installed on our air conditioner that lets us do it. We talked about it in the RV.
That's how we discovered that.
That's how we discovered
lovely little device that helps you do that.
We shared the story about the RV, and the company reached out and said, give anybody a discount. give them discounts. They're buying them left and right.
It's called a soft start.
Yeah, it's an amazing little thing.
Yeah, and I won't go fully into it, but it does help with the draw that is a problem anyway.
And it's not the same thing as a hard start. If you're thinking a hard start, no, soft start is 1,000 times better. We shot this really detailed video that's going to be awesome.
But even still, most people don't even know what a soft start is. We certainly didn't, and it was through the research. And the thing is they were this teeny tiny little company that nobody knew who they were or what they did. And then we make this video, and all of a sudden they have all these people who are really interested. And so anyway, they were very
blow
excited.
Up their phones, call them.
Anyway, we'll link to that with the information on that. And then once we finally get our setup fully tailored, which we're working on now because it's not working properly, inverter issues, but we'll go into that.
That's a whole nother set of videos
at a later date.
Yeah, but that's all the questions for now.
Yes, thanks for all of the awesome questions. Hopefully we gave you some
some answers
Insight.
there. We just blew through them really quickly, but we will go into a little more detail on the website.
Yeah, or if we've got links or other people that we read that helped us out along the way, then I'll make sure to link to all of that as well, because obviously a bunch of you are planning and dreaming yourselves.
Yeah.
There we go. Back to sailing. We'll leave you with a lovely view of the ocean.
Sorry we don't have dolphins like we did yesterday.
They don't. Well, you'll see that. In
You'll see it in
video.
another video.
It was amazing.
So many dolphins. Oh.
I think I'll just stay here.
Okay. Just do a pose.
Bye guys.
They don't want to see me. You gotta show
Check the course. Hi. They really do love me too.
Be my own cameraman. I'll turn it around.